Hello, welcome to another Burgundy with Tweedy video. Gevrey Chambertin today. This is from Majestic, a wine shop any of you based in the UK will probably be quite familiar with, and I'm assuming a shop that probably elicits mixed feelings. In the past, they used to be a little bit sort of pushy with their sales tactic and try to get you to join up to their club, and I think you used to have to buy 6 bottles at a time, even if you just walked into the shop, and so on and so forth. But they've sort of calmed down a little bit now, and they operate much more like a just regular high street wine shop. This is a producer called Alexandre Gauvin. I don't think I've had anything from them before. It's a Gevrey Chambertin, and it's a 2017 vintage, so I was quite pleased / impressed to still be able to find a 2017 vintage on the shelves in a bricks and mortar shop here in London. Quite reasonably priced, I thought. 60 quid for a single bottle. They always have this thing at Majestic where if you buy 6 bottles of anything you get a reasonably hefty discount. Is it 10% off each bottle? It was almost tempting to buy 5 bottles of cheap whatever, but you know, I was on foot and I'd have to then carry 6 bottles around, which would be ridiculous. That looks to me like a sort of technical cork. I don't mind those as long as they're still cork. It is a little bit stiff though, but I think these ones generally come out okay. It's the fully synthetic ones that are the problem. So I'm guessing that's from a company like Diam. I don't know if it's actually a Diam, but you can see it's that sort of, it's made of cork, but it's kind of a more processed form of cork. Well, that's quite a pretty blackcurranty sort of nose. The blackcurrant veering into black cherries is a relatively dark colour, I think, as always. Inconsistent lighting. Does it help if I show you a bit of my shirt for comparison? Maybe, maybe not. That's nice and fresh and lively. Sort of blackcurrant, black cherry. Possibly a bit of dark plum, maybe something slightly floral in there. There could be a whiff of violet perhaps. Quite a pretty nose actually. That is a nice start. And that fresh, fruity, floral flavour, a bit of alliteration for you there, continues onto the palate. I wouldn't say very light, but it's to the slightly lighter side. Sometimes when you get those dark fruits, I'm always expecting a wine that's a little bit more heavily extracted. But I would say in terms of the weight of the wine, it's slightly more towards the lighter side, but it's not light in terms of flavour. It is full of fresh fruit and so on, as I just described, those same kind of blackcurrant and black cherries continuing onto the palate. But weight-wise and body-wise, not quite as full as I might have expected. That's not a bad thing. It's fresh and it's nice, and it has a nice acidity, subtle sort of papery tannin, but not really a big deal. Fairly sure there is a hint of violet on the nose there. The nose is really pretty. That's dainty dark fruit and violet. That's lovely. I would say with the palate, it's not that it's wrong that it's light, it's just sort of slightly surprising and slightly incongruous with that fruit character. On some level it is concentrated, but it's remained slightly light-ish. Not perhaps the usual sort of power and intensity that you get with a lot of Gevrey Chambertins or richness. Yeah, it's interesting. It's quite different. It's not one of those sort of Domaine Ferrier style, very kind of light extracted, very kind of dainty, floral, elegant, perfumey sort of wines. And it's not one of your big, rich, powerful Gevrey Chambertin type Gevrey Chambertins. It exists somewhere in the middle of those two extremes, I would say. And it's actually quite nice in its own right. If I just enjoy this without reference to other recent or past Gevrey Chambertins I've had. But it's certainly not bad, and I like that it's different. I definitely like that nose very much. Blackcurrant and violet. Lovely. I have wantonly squandered the official moment of sunset this evening, just hiding in the woods. It's gone 8 o'clock now. I think sunset is around 8 o'clock at this point in the year. But that is what there is to show for it. Still, sometime after 8,